Hello friends, in this video we will be discussing another important concept in research, that is research process. Research process is a path to find out answer for research questions. Usually research questions are arisen due to our curiosity. When we are observing certain things, a curiosity comes into our mind, why this is so. So in research, we are trying to find out this cause and effect relationship. For example, the relationship between inflation and unemployment. A.W. Phillips, in his curve, he beautifully explained the trade-off between inflation and unemployment. And this is one of the classical example of research process. So, research process is a journey to find out answers for certain questions. In most of the cases, we are able to find out the answers in a scientific manner. So, research process comprises of all those scientific steps and methods that we are using to find out answers for research problem. So, identification of research problem is one of the key element in research process. By identifying the research problem, we are doing two things. First, we are understanding that problem thoroughly. And secondly, we are doing analytical framework and rephrasing this research problem into meaningful terms. There are other steps also involved in research process, which comprises of review of literature, collection of data, sample selection, research design, formulation of hypothesis, using of statistical techniques to analyze the data, and finally interpreting those results. So in this way, research process help us to find out answer. In psychology, we are finding out why this particular behavior is being displayed by a particular student. What are the causes for this? In social science perspective, in sociology perspective, we are trying to find out why divorce rate is highest among a particular community, why infant mortality rate is high in a patriarchal society. So these questions are arisen from certain observations. And out of the curiosity, we are trying our best to find out answers for these problems in a scientific manner. That what makes research. Using the scientific steps and measures to do research in a systematic manner. So all these steps we will discuss one by one.
Hello friends, now we will discuss the remaining steps in research process. Review of literature. For identifying a good solvable problem, the investigator undertakes the review of literature. It is the body of prior work related to a research problem. Scientific research includes a review of the relevant literature. When a researcher reviews the previous researchers in that particular field in which he wanted to go for research, he becomes familiar with several known and unknown facts and phenomena. A review of literature helps the researcher in systematically compiling and expanding and growing body of knowledge. So actually in that he is adding the information to the existing knowledge which he is having. Review also facilitates in drawing useful conclusions regarding the variables under study and provides a meaningful way of their subsequent applications. Review of literature also helps in redefining the variables and determining the meaning and relationship among them. For example, if you are taking unemployment rate, what are the reasons for it? Inflation, of course, one of the reasons. Second reason is government policies, and the third is maybe the economy is in a depression state. There are different sources of review of literature such as journals, books, abstract, indexes and periodicals. If we are unsure about what journals and other resources to examine for a research idea, we must go through a thorough analysis. We must search in Google and we must search in ResearchGate, and we should also help ourselves with the technical literature. Formulation of hypothesis is the next step in research process. In this, when a researcher has identified the research problem and reviewed the relevant literature thoroughly, he can formulate a hypothesis. From a careful examination of relevant theory and previous findings, the psychologists, the sociologists, whoever be it is, will be able to state one or more propositions whose validity could be tested. So this hypothesis can be true or this hypothesis can be false also. Based on the same sample collected and based on the analysis and interpretation, we can conclude that whether the hypothesis can be accepted or whether the hypothesis can be rejected. Hypothesis may be defined as a tentative statement. It's not a sure statement, it's a tentative statement showing a relationship between variables under study. It is stated in the form of declarative sentence. For instance, suppose you are interested to know the effect of reward on learning. This concept is very important in the point of view of a teacher-student relationship. You have analyzed the past research and found the indication that the two variables are positively related. If a teacher shows genuine interest on her students, the students will definitely show the same interest to the teacher also. They will try their level best to learn the subject which is being taught by that particular teacher. At this point, we may develop the following hypothesis. Those who are rewarded shall require lesser number of trials to learn the lesson than those who are not rewarded. As a children, we might notice that the school teachers always follows this particular rule. They gives 1 star or 2 star to a kid who does the homework very nicely. So this actually motivates the students to learn more and to make their learning an enjoyable process. The hypotheses are generally derived from earlier research findings, existing theories, and personal observations and experiences. For unbiased research, the researcher must formulate in advance of the data gathering process. No hypothesis should be formulated after the data collected. So we actually form a hypothesis. The hypothesis formulation is the prior step before the data collection. After that only we take the sample and we go for data collection, and then we analyzes these data and interprets it. Next step is identifying, manipulating and controlling variables. While talking about the hypothesis, you will encounter the word variable in the scientific literature, in psychology and in other fields. I am taking all this research process with respect to teacher-student relationship. Variables are defined as those characteristics which are manipulated, controlled and observed by the experimenter. As all of you know that we can teach them a lot of things, but it is depend on the students whether they wanted to perceive it or they wanted to retain it. At least 3 types of variables must be recognized at the outset: the dependent variable, the independent variable and the extraneous variable. The dependent variable is one about which the prediction is made on the basis of the experiment. As I told you, in school, if a teacher is encouraging her students by giving them 1 star when they are doing their homework, definitely that will improve the performance of that particular student. In other words, the dependent variable is the characteristics or condition that changes as the experimenter changes the independent variables. The independent variable is that condition or characteristics which is manipulated or selected by the experimenter in order to find out its relationship to some observed phenomena. An extraneous variable is the uncontrolled variable that may affect the dependent variable. As all of you know that there is a famous equation y is equal to f of x. So y is the independent variable and x is the dependent variable. The experimenter is not interested in the changes produced due to the extraneous variable and hence he tries to control it as far as predictable. The extraneous variable is also known as the relevant variable because outside factors can influence our study, our research. In order to make a variable clear, precise and easy to communicate, it is important that it is operationally defined. An operational definition involves specifying the actual operations that gives a given variable. Operational definition is also important for the purpose of measurement. Since psychological variables are complex and their measurement poses special problems, psychologists use operational definitions. They frequently use report measures, behavioral measures, and psychological measures of variables in their studies, which help him or her to specify the operations and allow quantification. So these are the important steps in research process. Remaining steps also we will discuss. So review of literature, formulation of hypothesis and variables. That is the three things that we discussed now. I hope all of you clearly understood this. If you liked my video, please do subscribe to our channel and please like also. Thank you so much for watching. Wish you all the very best for your examination. Work hard, stay safe. Thank you.